Do you think the Israeli-Hamas conflict matters for us in terms of our investing outlook?
Number one, there's always something going on. Now, it may not be as terrible as the Israel-Hamas situation, but there are always things to worry about. And, we always look at the past and we say, oh, my God, if only we could go back 30 years. It was so great then, and now it's so difficult today. But, of course, we don't necessarily remember things clearly. Our memories are too fond of the past. So I always assume that we'll muddle through. We'll find a solution to the Hamas-Israel crisis. And the other thing is that what happens in the investment world is that if somebody has a reputation for being a good investor and has made some money, then people start to treat him like he's a genius on all subjects. And that's certainly not the case. So I think, number one, I'm no expert on Israel-Hamas. Number two, I don't know if there are any experts on Israel-Hamas. Sure. This is a unique experience that we've never been through before. So where would expertise come from? And I put out a memo just a year ago called The Illusion of Knowledge. And I talked about there's a series of lunches in the Hamptons in New York every summer, run for people in the investment business. And I went to one in the summer of 22, and that's why I wrote this memo. But the host says, Howard, when will we get out of Ukraine and how? Or what's going to happen, with the dollar versus the euro? And my reaction is, why are you asking me? I don't know. I don't know anything about these things. What's going to happen in Ukraine? I don't know a damn thing that any intelligent person who read today's newspaper doesn't know. But there is this tendency to associate investment profits with intelligence. That's sometimes wrong. But so as I say, at Oaktree, our investment decisions are not driven by macro forecasts. We're not going to change our investment process just because there's a conflict between Israel and Hamas. These are not the things that matter in the long run. What matter in the long run is how do the companies you invest in do? What we have to do is make fundamental decisions about which companies are good, which stocks, which companies will grow, and for us, which companies will honor their promise and pay debt and interest and principal as promised. These are the important things.
Do you agree with the theory that when people in the bubble, they don't know they are in the bubble, they have a lot of theories,
right,
stories, vocabularies,
yes,
to justify
right,
the sky-high,
yes,
valuations?
Yes.
So any similarities that we saw today?
Well, look, I think that one of the things that I've been able to do over the years, based on attaining substantial age and experience, is detect when there are excesses in the markets. Today, I don't know enough to know whether the expectations with regard to AI are excessive. But of course, we do know there's great enthusiasm. There is an expectation that AI will change the world. There's every likelihood that it will, but there's also a good likelihood that we don't know today which companies will be the winners.
Final thing, let's talk something about China. This time, when we try to revive the economy, we do not use the bazooka things,
right,
to stimulate the economy, but we choose a more patient way.
Right.
What's your take on that?
Well, look, I like your terminology, bazooka. In the first 20 years of this century, the Chinese financial institutions fired money at the economy like a bazooka.
Yes.
Huge amounts, broadly. And it produced great growth.
Yes.
But a lot of the growth was the result of the monetary stimulus, the bazooka.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that phrase. The trouble with bazooka is that it has unintended consequences. And in fact, you look at the real estate development industry.
Yes.
If you give them money, they'll build buildings. The question is, will the buildings be needed and useful? And maybe you get the wrong buildings in the wrong place or the wrong type of building. Now I think China is trying to transition from bazooka to more moderate monetary support of the economy and balancing the desire for growth with the desire to let the market express its demand for products,
Yes.
space, real estate, etc. And that's a healthy development, but it's a transition, and transitions can be difficult. And China is transitioning from monetary bazooka to something more measured,
Yes.
from 10% growth to 5% growth.
You think that is the right thing to do?
It is the right thing. And what I said in one of my memos, I guess it was Sea Change,
Yes.
is that adrenaline
Yes.
is a good thing.
Yes.
They give adrenaline to people having heart attacks, and it saves them. But you can't take a shot of adrenaline every morning for 20 years.
Yes.
It's not healthy. If you can produce 5, that'll still be the fastest growing major country in the
Yes.
world. So the transition is appropriate.
So maybe we are doing the right thing, but the thing is maybe we'll have several difficult years ahead.
Yes, doing the right thing doesn't mean that everything is going to work every year. And in fact, in my view, doing the right thing means accepting reality. And in reality, things don't go well all the time. There are ups and downs.